Welcome back to another weekly roundup of cloud gaming news where we have a lot to talk about this week. But of course, if you haven't already, remember to subscribe to the channel, turn on those notifications so you never miss a video. And if you enjoy the content, give the video a like, helps the channel out a lot. But for now, let's get into this week's cloud gaming news. So last week we talked about the rumor of GeForce Now coming to iOS devices via the browser, but with no confirmation, it was to be taken with a pinch of salt. Well, in sodium reducing news, who writes this? Oh, it's me. In sodium reducing news this week, Nvidia not only confirmed the rumor was true, but also released the iOS web app browser functionality in a beta state. This move opens up yet another avenue in cloud gaming for iOS users who total almost 1.5 billion. That's billion. With a B. Nvidia also confirmed they plan to broaden the support for Chrome-based versions of GeForce Now, currently only accessible on Chromebooks, and they will be extending it to Android, Mac, and Linux sometime in the first quarter of next year. Of course, this is good news for Fortnite iOS players who will regain access to the game on their devices, albeit with just a few more hoops to jump through to get into the game. Because GeForce Now runs the PC version of Fortnite, touch controls won't be supported to begin with, but GeForce Now chief Phil Eisler, why are they all called Phil? Stated in the company's blog post, alongside the amazing team at Epic Games, we're working to enable a touch-friendly version of Fortnite, which will delay availability of the game. While the GeForce Now library is best experienced on mobile with a gamepad, touch is how over 100 million Fortnite gamers have built, battled, and danced their way to Victory Royale. I'm assuming somebody else wrote that for him, or he wrote it and then got up and the Fortnite dance. And not only that, but of course it's a new week, so GeForce Now have continued to add games to their ever-growing library, which, can now be accessed on iOS. So of course I'll throw those games up on screen here. A couple of notable ones. One, am I the only one who for some reason is super excited by Bee Simulator? And have to check this out. Subscribe to the channel, we'll probably look at it on stream.
You like jazz?
We also got 2 day-and-date releases with Bridge Constructor The Walking Dead, just evidence they're trying to milk The Walking Dead for everything it's worth, and Poker Club. And of course we got the epic free game this week, which is Elite Dangerous, which is available to claim until November 26th. In even more iOS news, this week was the 1-year anniversary for Google Stadia, where we got a buttload of news, including their plans to also roll out a web-based iOS version of the Stadia app in the next several weeks. Again, this will be a public testing version, but with Stadia joining the list, we now have Stadia, Luna, GeForce Now, Shadow, and fingers crossed early next year, Game Pass will also join the availability on iOS. So other than the fact that you own an Apple device, things are certainly looking up for you guys. But a 1-year anniversary would be kind of weak if that was the only thing to announce. So alongside the iOS announcement, Stadia also announced that any customers who purchase Cyberpunk 2077 on Stadia will get a free Stadia Premier Edition bundle. I feel like we've talked about this. This is the same bundle we talked about last week, which they were giving away to YouTube Premium subscribers, which really just solidifies my theory that somewhere out there, Google has a warehouse filled with Premier Edition bundles that they are desperately trying to get rid of. Regardless, if you're interested in that deal, it runs through to December 18th. As well as that, Google teased the launch of Stadia in more EMEA, or Europe, Middle East, Asia regions by the end of the year. Stadia didn't come out and confirm which countries those are, but a vigilant Reddit user noticed the Terms of Service page was updated briefly to include the date December 1st and included 7 additional countries, which included Czechia, Hungary, Poland, Portugal, Romania, Slovakia, and Switzerland. They have since reverted this Terms of Service page back, but this may very well have confirmed both the date and the new countries being added, which I guess makes this less of a tease, more of an unsolicited pic. As well as that, and I swear this is the last Stadia piece of news, Stadia now officially has a free-to-play game, regardless of if you're on the free tier or a pro subscriber. Destiny 2 New Light, as it's now called, officially went free-to-play on Stadia this week and gives you access to all available worlds, the Crucible, Gambit, Co-op Strikes, and the opening questline, which will line you up nicely for the new Beyond Light expansion, which you will then have to buy, because that's how they get you. Moving on to xCloud news. No, it's not coming to iOS, at least not this week, but the guys over at Windows Central have given us our first look at xCloud running on Windows, but it's worth calling out it appears to be an internal testing version, so the look, feel and performance is all subject to change before general release. Which is good because even this test version of the Windows application is still capped at 720, the same position we currently find ourselves on phones. Now, on your phone, it's not a deal breaker. Yes, it's a lower resolution than some of the competition, but on a smaller screen, you can definitely get by. But this is 100% the main thing that needs to be upgraded before a wider release on Windows to be in with even a small chance of competing. I'm hopeful this will be the case, as we most likely won't see xCloud come to PC until sometime next year, potentially coinciding with the xCloud server upgrade to Xbox Series X components, which are definitely capable of pushing out more than 720. Other than that, Windows Central reported even the internal test version of xCloud on Windows had, quote, no latency, runs flawlessly, and is totally playable. It's worth noting the tester had a local down speed of 200 megs and was testing on a Microsoft Surface Pro. And finally, in case you missed the big Shadow announcement this week, I said it was a big announcement week. Yes, the US will be getting access to the improved Ultra and Infinite tiers starting later this month. The new tiers will be available in limited quantities and will be rolled out in a phased approach, starting with the Chicago data center, moving on to Texas and California, and finally New York. It's worth noting that access to these tiers is exclusive to existing Shadow customers because
you smart, you loyal, I appreciate that.
So you need to be an existing Boost customer, and when the new tiers become available in your data center, you'll be notified and you'll be able to upgrade from your account page on the Shadow website. Of course, for Europe, the plans still haven't changed and the promise remains to deliver these new tiers in 2021. And because I got a few questions about this one on the live stream, I thought it was worth mentioning that the Shadow VR app is available in an open alpha state, meaning anyone can give it a try. I'll leave a link to the FAQ in the description with details on how to set it up, but just note this is 100% an alpha version. The setup will involve some side loading onto your Oculus Quest and changing some of your Shadow startup options, and while the stability of the app still needs improvement, the performance is genuinely impressive. So far, I haven't been able to see too much difference in terms of latency compared to something more established like Virtual Desktop. But that's it from me, so of course, if you enjoyed the video, you found it somewhat helpful, a like rating would be appreciated. If you haven't already, remember to subscribe to the channel, turn on those notifications so you don't miss the next video. Hope everyone's staying safe out there, and as always, I shall see you in the next one.